So my project, I wanted to bring urban forestry and green streets to Bridgeport. Um, Basically, the whole thing about around it was to improve the environment, safety, security, and health. So I started off with an aerial map of 1884. Thought it was kind of important to show what Bridgeport was all about back then. Kind of wanted to make that same connection. A lot more greenery back then than there is now to the city. So I did a site analysis of land use relationships, and I found that this major highway and train tracks were kind of a big dividing point, and that was like one of the connections I wanted to make for this urban forest and green streets. And I also mapped out what were good connections and bad connections throughout the site. So I found these online of a survey that CT.gov did. They do it through surveyors, and basically it just shows from light to dark the amount of tree canopy there is throughout the city. There's another one right here of kind of it's more blocked out, and it kind of just shows our site is down in here in black, and it shows the lack of existing tree canopy throughout the site. As it goes up through Bridgeport, it gets more dense. So I kind of want to bring that back down. So this was a chart that I made, a matrix that I made for the project, and kind of broke it down into the health, safety, environment, and positive attributes to the city of Bridgeport. And it kind of just I broke it down into how trees can help air quality and pollution and everything. So this was one that Chicago did that I used in my project. It was just kind of more backup for me. So basically, it just goes over how much tree cover the city actually has, how many trees there actually are, and how many emissions that it actually removes throughout the year, 11,000 tons. So this one is for New York City and how it proves that street trees are allowing people to drive slower. There's less crashes in populated areas like New York City. So I wanted to bring that idea to Bridgeport as well. So this was a quick diagram that I made for the presentation. It kind of just explains, we had a guest speaker that had a slide like this, and it kind of jumped out at me, so it kind of just shows the slower you go, the more break time you have. Faster you go, the less break time you have, just by 5 miles per hour. This was another quick study that someone else did. It's for Bellevue, the village of Bellevue, and it kind of just breaks down how much money they save a year and how many emissions they lose. A lot of this for my project was just back up towards why I was going to bring green streets and urban forestry to the city. So I did sections. This is the existing section. That's the site, and I kind of just I wanted these are really wide, and I really wanted to make them tighter and like I said before, narrow roads make people slow down, which makes it safer for people. That was a single loaded road. This is another single loaded road with on-street parking, and I just brought in these swales at the end of all the roads that kind of acts as a barrier, and so same thing for here. I did the same thing, but it's another double loaded road. And basically, I wanted to have as much room from the driver to the pedestrian for them to be as safe as possible. And I allowed for this to be a little bit wider so people can get out of their cars on on-street parking and be a little safer. So this was one of my designs that I did. For the crits, it was good, but it wasn't in the right spot. This is the spot right here, and it's in more of like a city kind of area. So this looks more for a residential area. So they kind of didn't really get that, but they knew where I was going for. So this was a perspective that I found I used in my project as well. Just kind of like a feel of what I was going for in my project. I do see plantings down the road, and these are the same kind of idea of around the corner, kind of just slow down traffic and gives it a buffer for pedestrians. So this was a big part that the crits liked in my project, and it was the main highway, 195, I-95. And basically it's a urban forest corridor, and it goes all the way down the highway. And so basically it acts as not only as an urban forest, but also acts as a sound barrier, and also collects the stormwater off the highway in these barrels right here. And they actually seemed to really like the idea. They really wanted me to go a little deeper and seeing how this could actually be beneficial. Maybe add solar panels to this structure, but it's actually very feasible, and they actually like the idea of being able to block off sound from I-95 for the new residents that were being built right next to the highway. So this is basically the outside structure of it. These are the barrels where it would catch the rain. It would either stay in here or it would go down into the vines or down. They have also buckets that go down into the soil for more treatment of the water. And I made a model for my project, and basically this is the highway right here with the urban forestry around it, and then these are all my green